Oh, that's great. I mean, I can't wait to watch this one. I feel like there's going to be a lot to digest.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Oh, wow.
That was a stream. Like, I felt that.
Yeah, I felt that too. And it got to the end, near the end, and what I was saying was a bit like the power cord. I was plugged in, tuned in. I felt the energy and the frequencies and everything flowing really strong. Mm-hmm. And then we got towards the end and power cord out. It was like, oh, okay, what's happening now? It was, I think you asked me something towards the end and I was like, wow, that's just, I don't know. I'm like, I'm at saturation point. It's I feel like the transmission has happened and now it's going to integrate and I don't need to know.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So wonderful. You're that sensitive also to yourself, just to know like, well, okay, that's good. You know. Oh, that's great. I mean, I can't wait to watch this one. I feel like there's going to be a lot to digest.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just, here you are channeling. And as we go with more and more questions, I feel like it's going deeper into me. It's more and more revealing because it's my questions and my perspectives, and it's the strangest feeling. But it's great. It's a positive thing because that's where I'm going. I'm going into more of showing up. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, the spotlights are shining right on me here.
Oh, I love that. And I think for me, what's fun is when I get an image in my head, and part of me in the back seat is, don't talk about that. Every single time I get something weird that pops in my head, I'm like, that makes no sense. Stop. Don't talk about that. And I never listen. I just let it go. And it's very gratifying when I trust that when I watch the recording, it'll all make sense. But there were words said about these things, like even the sun. I was like, okay, what is the sun? What is this? Or a fishbowl. I was like, okay, fishbowl. So I look forward to seeing how that makes sense when I go back and watch.
Oh, absolutely. And just the piece where you came at the end, don't be the gawker looking in. Oh. That's when it hit me. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're right. That ties into that conversation thread.
And it just wrapped it up beautifully. It came right back full circle, the fishbowl, of the perspectives constructs at the beginning.
Yeah, this is a good one. I'm glad.
Really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, as I edit these together, these different things, it is, for me, what's fun, because, I have my podcast people that I listen to. But at a certain point, it does start to, you're looking for that, okay, what's new and fresh, new perspective. And what's fun for me in this is that every single time someone new comes, it's a new energy and it pulls different things out and it keeps it so fun and fresh for me because I just have no idea, especially for people like you, because there are several people, when you come in already sort of in step and in tune with your expanded self and aware of this sort of stuff, you pull a different type of question. I remember feeling that at one point, like the the expansion of the way that the questions are being crafted. I felt that, I saw that, in my head, and so anyway, that's wonderful to watch. It because I learned so much. I would never ask a lot of these questions myself, but I find them intriguing. I love the answers, so.
That's so interesting because for me, from my perspective, looking out the bowl, it's like, well, everyone thinks like everyone has this perspective.
Yeah.
And so It was amazing. And what came through was the fun, playfulness, and perhaps doing the clearing for you first because every time I take somebody through a belief tree and we do this clearing, there's a certain energy that gets accessed. And as you shift and your vibration rises, I'm holding a vibration for you to rise to. I feel expanded. You get to this place where you just smile. You can't stop smiling. It's that source energy comes it's fully flowing.
Yes.
To start your channeling session from that place where we both were energetically, I think that really elevated the conversation.
I think so too. And also I'm just from mostly what I remember are images, and I remember seeing like rotations, but you're at a different level each time, so you're never at the same, you're expanding. Maybe this is the better way to do it. You're expanding out. So even if you come around to the same point, you're a little different. That's what I was seeing. And so I think this is a offshoot of that conversation, because we came round and round and round and round to the same topic in our conversation, yet we had progressed. We had the benefit of the work we did at the beginning, built on the next thing and the next thing. And you could say, oh, you're just talking about that same old thing again. And we are, but the change is we are different. Even if we don't perceive it, we have changed. We have expanded outward. And maybe in terms of human measurement, that's intentional, so that we can come around to the same point and say, look how I've grown. Maybe we don't do it every time, but every 100 times we come back around, maybe we notice and we say, look how far I've come. The same topic, but I feel different,
Yeah, and during that process, I see the spiral as an upward.
Oh, yes, yes.
Like
I like that too, 3D.
And because we started truth and constructs, I started with that question, and then you went somewhere else, and I'm thinking, oh, what else are we going to ask now? The button's pressed, we're go.
Yeah.
And what I managed to do was to get out of my head, be in the energy, receive what you were saying, and then ask new questions after your answer. So then the new questions were elevated, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
And so we kept, so they were the same but different. It was just incredible, the whole thing. I think it's the best one we've ever done.
Yeah. Well, even from the very top, because it's a weird thing. I know the question and I give it to you, and then you ask me that question to kick us off. But even in the very beginning, I could feel the tension of where physical me had wanted to start, and the topic was expanded, and it felt like, I'll have to go back and watch it, but it felt like, even though, we did, it was the sun image. We started with the sun image, and that's where I was like, where is this going? But it felt like, completeness, like we came back around to that topic on perspectives, but we had just broadened out, first, to make a point of some kind. So I can't wait to watch it. I thank you for, being willing to play along.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's also interesting when you have to choose between three things, because I've got different adapters and I've only got 2 little ports, and so I'm like, almost out of power. Nice camera is plugged in. Nice microphone is plugged in. Which do I choose? Because I've got to say goodbye to one. Like, do I say goodbye to good sound? Does it matter how I look, that I'm not as crisp? Or so I let go, or power. And I was like, I need the power. The point of this is to communicate, and I can let go of my own vanity, People will forgive how I look, So anyway, thank you again. Wow. Yay.